In this morning's bulletin, the headlines. Achievements of visually impaired persons. Rena's Bible Church building collapse. More group thank God for sparing Governor Udom's life. Ibom Heritage Festival postponed in honor of victims of Saturday church building collapse. Details of these and other stories shortly. Good morning. Welcome to AKBC 45 News at Dawn. I am Inyodu Ubonwabasi. More sympathizers have visited Governor Udom Emmanuel to commiserate with him and the state over the loss of lives at the collapsed building of the Rena's Bible Church. Those who visited yesterday include judiciary led by Chief Judge Justice Stephen Okon and the State Council of Chiefs led by the Chairman Owong Effiong Achanga. Government House Bureau Chief Colonel Edem Efreti reports.
Governor Udom Emmanuel, who received the visitors, said the ugly incident served as a great lesson to all, something nobody would have planned for. Mr. Udom Emmanuel said he is grateful to God for cushioning the effect of the collapse and sparing the lives of many, even as he lamented over the lives lost, the injured, and the grief borne by the families. The governor commended the visitors for what he termed show of love, unity, and solidarity. He expressed his commitment to ensuring that all those injured recover fully, adding that the Commission of Inquiry would soon be constituted.
I also pray that all of us will also need to fulfill our destiny and fulfill our years whatever rights happen. God has just mentioned of course that God decided to keep all of us that survived. But we live different and fulfill life. Another thing is also a current call for churches. We can't have this number of churches all over the world, and the world is still like this. There must be a church. We pray that church should be able to impact lives of people, so that people don't just, attend. We just, and after that we leave, clap hands, and the next minute, the level of hatred we have for one another is unbelievable.
The State Chief Judge, Justice Stephen Okon, said the visit was informed by the need to join their voices in appreciating God for sparing the governor's life and that of the many who escaped death. Justice Okon, who said he was in Dubai when the incident occurred, prayed God to grant repose to the dead, healing to the wounded, and renewed grace for the governor to carry on his task. He presented a check of an undisclosed amount to the governor towards the relief effort.
And secondly, we are here to commiserate with you as the chief executive of this state over the tragic incidents involving the loss of lives of the people of Akwa Ibom State.
The chairman of the State Council of Chiefs, Owong Effiong Achanga, while extending his condolences, thanked God for sparing Governor Udom Emmanuel. Owong Achanga urged the governor to remain strong and courageous, adding that God, who alone knows why the incident occurred, would keep him protected.
We come here to commiserate with you, Your Excellency, that we lost our beautiful daughters and sons, and we also, by God's permission, accept them and our sisters in doing their effort and for our children over there.
Colonel Edem Efreti reporting.
As the Akwa Ibom people await the outcome of the state government's investigation into last Saturday's collapse of the Rena's Bible Church building, the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has commiserated with the governor and victims of the incident. Tuesday plenary centered around the sad development as put together in the following report by
plenary. The lawmakers commended the governor's decision to set up a probe panel to unravel the immediate and remote causes of the incident. This followed a matter of information brought before the House by the member representing Ibionibom State Constituency, Barrister Ime Okon, on the tragic incident.
We need at the House to consider the Excellency Governor of our state, giving the concern in families, even those who are injured or attending treatment in several health facilities, including one of our own.
In their resolution, the House commended the Governor for the pragmatic approach in ensuring that victims trapped in the rubble of the collapsed building were rescued. They also commended the Nigeria Society of Engineers (NSE) for setting up a committee to ascertain the immediate and remote cause of the incident.
Then, as a House, we rise to commiserate with the Governor of the state, the people of the state, most especially the families of the victims in that public incident of the end day of December 2016.
A minute silence was observed by the House in honor of those who lost their lives during the incident, followed by a prayer session led by the House leader, Saudor Kirian, who prayed for the quick recovery of the injured, including the Chief Whip of the House. Also during plenary, the House reacted to the death of an NYSC member, Ukeme Monde, who passed away recently at his place of national assignment, calling on the federal government to expedite action on the investigation.
Which are available as privately because started here because of death, multiple organs were off, and I don't know whether this was done as a pathologist. All members, it is very sad, it's pathetic that Ukeme Monde, a very brilliant student, has had to die in this country.
The lawmakers, led by the Speaker, Barrister Onofiok Luke, later visited the state governor, Mr. Dom Emmanuel, at Government House, Uyo, to express their condolences.
We want to say that we as a House stand with you and stand with government in this moment of grief.
This show of, togetherness, oneness and unity at this time of this calamity. Let me call it a calamity, it's not just a tragedy. And the House of Assembly, this response, believe me, has seriously strengthened me today.
Udwakeko reporting.
The Ibom Heritage Festival, organized to showcase the rich cultural heritage of the Akwa Ibom State people, has been postponed. A statement signed by the Chief Press Secretary to the State Governor, Mr. Kerete Udo, said the postponement is in honor of the casualties arising from the collapsed Rena's Bible Church building, which has thrown the state into a state of mourning. According to the statement, a new date for the festival will be made public and later encouraged continued prayers for victims of the incidents. October 15 every year is set aside in most countries as the White Cane Safety Day, a national observance since 1964 to celebrate the achievements of the blind and visually impaired persons. To this end, the state government, through the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Welfare, set aside yesterday to celebrate the White Cane Day with emphasis on the theme, "The White Cane, Our Mark of Independence." Eyaneno Paul, who witnessed the celebration, filed the following report.
On October 6, 1964, a joint resolution of the United States Congress authorized the President of the United States to proclaim October 15 each year as the White Cane Safety Day, and President Lyndon Johnson signed the first White Cane Safety Day proclamation within hours of the passage of the joint resolution. Other nations have since joined in observing the day. In the States, the day is observed to celebrate the successes of blind people as demonstration of their abilities in disabilities, according to the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Dr. Gloria Ede. Dr. Ede said the theme for this year's celebration, the white cane, our mark of independence, seeks to further educate the populace that the blind or visually impaired persons can live, work independently, as well as contribute to building of the nation. The Commissioner said Akwa Ibom State has maintained an inclusive regime by implementing policies that provide equal opportunity for the visually impaired. The support, she noted, is by the provision of learning appliances like braille machines, braille papers, stylus, laptops with JAWS, scholarship to students, and training of some blind persons at the Nigeria Farm Craft Center in Lagos.
Let me use this opportunity to appreciate our vibrant and pragmatic governor, His Excellency Mr. Udom Gabriel Emmanuel, who has demonstrated unsurpassed passion for our people, including people with visually impairment. The state government under his watch has maintained an approach by the implementation of policies and programs that provide equal opportunities for persons with visually challenges.
In a lecture at the occasion, the principal of Special Education Center, Pastor Deborah Benjamin, said the white cane has been a symbol of visually impaired persons around the world and helped millions of people to find their ways. Pastor Benjamin mentioned types of canes to include the long cane named after Richard Hoover and designed for mobility, guide cane, which is short and used to scan for caps and steps, as well as identification cane used in alerting others. She also listed the support cane, kiddies cane, and green cane.
With this tool, the visual impaired person will have the ability to move or travel around in our environment easily.
Goodwill messages were presented by the head of civil service, represented by the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Special Duties, Mrs. Grace Stephen, Chairman of the State Association of the Blind, Mr. Ubong Ben, the South-South Coordinator of the Association, Ubong Udo, and the Chairman of Persons Living with Disabilities, Deaconess Ofiong. The speaker said Akwa Ibom has been consistently celebrating the visually impaired and appreciated the governor for appointing their members into the transition committees, and also lauded the House of Assembly for passing the bill protecting the rights of persons living with disabilities.
Because there is ability in disability. So I don't know why you will have self-pity instead of moving ahead with the Dakada policy of this administration.
I want to thank us, I want to thank the government for this great achievement. The government has been doing so well for persons with visual impairment in Akwa Ibom State.
The event featured distribution of white cane to visually impaired persons, competition of braille, recitation of Dakada Creed by the blind, music presentation, and ballad.
Akwa Ibomite, rise to face of greatness. Rise to faith that with God all things are possible. Rise to the faith that all things are possible and many more.
Rise to the faith that all things are possible and many more. What by the condition of the hope without living.
High points of the celebration were presentation of gifts to those that recited the Dakada Creed, presentation of braille machines to those in higher institutions, and special presentation to participants on braille machines competition. Iyageno Paul reporting.
You're watching AKBC 45 News at Dawn. Please stay on as we have more news for you after the break. From the break, It's still AKBC 45 News at dawn. The Commissioner for Housing and Special Duties, Mr. Akanokun, has expressed satisfaction over the level of progress recorded in several project sites of the ministry. Mr. Akanokun stated this while undertaking familiarization visits to the sites. Uyoko Oswa has the details.
Project sites visited by the Commissioner included the Unity Luxury Estate site at Ibiakushet, Ibiaku-Obiondabo, in a government area, the Ibaoku project site in a local government area, as well as the Uyofield Temple of the Apostolic Church Nigeria, Obiemo Street, being given a first lift by the ministry. At the Unity Luxury Estate site at Ibiakushet, Ibiaku-Obiondabo, the Commissioner was briefed by the Permanent Secretary in the ministry, Dr. Valerie Obut, the Head of Urban Renewal, Mr. Edeti Booth, as well as the contractor handling the project. The Commissioner was also briefed on the designs of the buildings approved for the estate, in addition to traffic control measures. Mr. Akanokun expressed satisfaction at the measures taken to demarcate the project's land to avoid encroachment. He noted that although the estate is designed in tune with modern architectural standards, it would be affordable and accessible to high and low-income earners. The Commissioner instructed the contractor to commence the next phase of the project.
Well, from what I've seen here, I think by the time this estate is completed, it would drastically lead to the development of this entire area. And from my discussion with the consultant here, I think it's going to be one of the best estates in this part of Nigeria. There's also a plan to have the medium income houses. Even there's a plan, those ones that we built before in Ikorekene, Iduba, and all of them, they're still available. So it is open. Everybody will be taken into consideration.
At the Ibaoku project site, the village head Eteiron Gabriel Mbeke was on hand to welcome the Commissioner and explained that the traditional injunction on the property was meant to forestall trespass. He urged the government to expedite action on the project as it would assist in opening up the area.
My major friends, all my family here, my son.
Okay, sir.
So, one from you do, you know, to go compensate again, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So, I know. Baba, I'm trying to go to back. Even this land, million Janayna.
Okay. At the Uyofield Temple of the Apostolic Church Nigeria, Obiemo Street, the Commissioner was conducted around by the Uyofield Superintendent of the church, Apostle Ime George. Mr. Kanokun assessed the gatehouse, vestry, pulpit, and other aspects of the renovation. It will be recalled that during the Governor's first year anniversary and Thanksgiving service, which was celebrated in the church, Governor Dom Emmanuel had promised to give the edifice a first lift before the 2016 convention of the church.
I think if you were here the last time we were here for the Thanksgiving, with what you have seen here, I'm sure there's a significant transformation. It's an excellent work.
The Commissioner for Housing and Special Duties, Mr. Akanokun, later visited the Reynolds Bible Church at the Uyo Village Road to have a personal assessment of the events of last weekend. Members of the public were still seen peering over the perimeter fence of the premises to catch a glimpse of the collapsed church building. Uyoko Oswa reporting.
Miss Imabong Isok, a graduate of the University of Uyo, and Mr. Senebong Antia, a fashion designer of repute, were joined together in holy matrimony on Sunday at the Insight Bible Church, Uyo. Ememusen reports that the wedding had friends, family, and well-wishers of the couple in attendance.
On occasion, Brother Ahmed Mustafa, who spoke on relationship, urged the Christian faithfuls to build up quality, good and lasting relationships that will lead to marriage as an instruction from God.
Somewhere in the midst of your relationship, are you contemplating divorce? He that walketh with the wife shall be married. Their lifestyle and their way of living is based on the world standard.
The senior pastor of the Inside Bible Church,
Dr. Silvano Sukafia, who officiated at the wedding, states that it is the duty of the wife to submit to the leadership of the husband, while the husband has to love and care for his wife. With the consent of both families, the bride and the groom took their marital vows, exchanged rings, and signed the marriage register to the admiration of guests, after which they were pronounced husband and wife.
Please be my wife. I will be your wife.
The choir spiced up the event with songs. Friends and relations ushered the couple into the reception venue with fanfare. The chairman on the occasion, Pastor Netiope, in his remarks congratulated the couple and their union, urging them to strive to please God and one another in their daily lives. Pastor Ope advised the couples to pay deaf ears to advices by people, but to pray and seek the counsel of God in their marriage, noting that physical attractions will fade, but the quality embedded in them will sustain their marriage to bloom a peaceful home.
Like in every journey, expect valleys and mountains, bumps and smooth parties, bends and junctions. The having an objective makes the journey worthy. Your objective should be to please God and one another.
The couple cut their cake and fed each other, while Uwanime proposed a toast of the couple, emphasizing that they are caring, loving, well-mannered, cultured, and above all, they have God-fearing attributes.
A frontline educationist who served as Commissioner of Education in the 12 Cross River States and Akwa Ibom State, Deaconess Afyong Okon Abasetai, has passed on at the age of 76. Late Deaconess Abasetai started her professional career in December 1965 as an education officer in the former Eastern region of Nigeria, where she taught at Government Comprehensive Secondary School, Port Harcourt, and then the Southeastern Government Teachers Training College, Uyo. Through hard work and diligence, she was in 1969 appointed Education Officer, Lagos State City College, and had also served in various positions in both the state and the federal levels until April 1997, when she retired after a brilliant career in the federal civil service. She was also the pioneer commissioner for education in Akwa Ibom State under Colonel Tunde Ogbeha, as well as the regime of Colonel Godwin Abe. Services which earned her various national and international honors and awards. A statement from the family indicates that she was an active and committed member of the Akwa Ibom Church, where she served as a member of associations such as Nkaima and Nkaidorin. According to the statement, a service of songs is built for December 16, 2016 at Akwa Ibom Church, Ewedo Fort 112 Nwaniba Road, Uyo, while burial is slated for Saturday, December 17, 2016 at the Bright Stars International Nursery and Primary School, Afari Korakban Nkpe in Ona Local Government Area by 9 o'clock in the morning. Let Deaconess Afyong Abasetai, a mother and a mentor, an epitome of humility, selflessness and godly service, is survived by 5 children, 12 grandchildren, and a host of other relations, among them Engineer Emem and Mrs. Sandra Abasiatai, Dr. Enyeka and Mrs. Ekpema Abasiatai, Dr. Ekaite Tobin and Engineer K.A.S. Tobin, Engineer Ini and Mrs. Chinwoke Abasiatai, as well as Barrister Mfon Jonah and Barrister Ime Akan Jonah. The Enang dynasty of Nobi Enang Idoro Oku Clan Uyo local government area has announced the death of their patriarch and head of the dynasty Obong Efyong Enyong Udofia, who died in August 2016. He was aged 95. Fondly called Deluxe, Awangabasi by his contemporaries and associates, Obongefiong Udofia was a self-made man. He was an active member of the Action Group in the Nigeria's First Republic and a second supporter of the National Party of Nigeria in the Second Republic. Chief Doctor, as he was fondly called by his children, was a community development and environmental conservation advocate whose services was rewarded with the chieftaincy title of Adaruyo in 1984 by the then paramount ruler of Uyo. He was a member of Uyo Traditional Rulers Advisory Council and member of Idoro Village Council of Chiefs. For his services to his people, the Idoro Village Council of Chiefs named the popular Awangabasi Street in Idoro after him. A release by the family indicates that the formal opening of funeral home held on Monday, December 12, while other activities including condolence visits are ongoing. The release states that the service of songs is scheduled for Friday, December 16, 2016 at the family house, 19 Acre Street, Uyo at 7 p.m. According to the release, a commendation service will hold on Saturday, 17 December 2016 at Christian Assembly, Idoro at 9:30 a.m. According to a release, a commendation service will hold on Saturday, 17th December 2016 at Christian Assembly, Idoro at 9:30 a.m. The funeral, according to the release, is billed for the Kwaibo Church Primary School, Idoro Road, Uyo, and will be conducted by Christian Assembly, Idoro at 11 a.m. Obongefiong Udofia is survived by his wife, Obonwan Christiana, 17 children, 34 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren, among all the relations to mourn his demise. The village head of Ikora Pansiak Nkwot in Ikono local government area came alive at the weekend as sympathizers across the state trooped there to witness the funeral of Etidong Christopher Nicholas Udo. The funeral was conducted by St. Mary's Catholic Church, Ikora Pans Isiak, with Reverend Father Charles Peter officiating. The report is here presented.
The funeral featured congregational hymns, special renditions by the choir, and special dance by Ikono Conference of Village Head in honor of their departed member. In his sermon, Reverend Father Charles Peter called on Christians to live righteous lives. The Reverend Father described the late Etidong Nicholas as peace-loving and one who started the yearly solemn assembly in the village.
Etidong Christopher Nicholas was a true soldier, both a true soldier of God and of his nation, and he died at his post.
According to his biography, the late Etidong Christopher Nicholas was a Catholic, born in 1957 to the family of late Chief Ipembe Udoenang of Non-Udo family in Ikora Paisiak Nkwot. The late Etidong had worked with Champion Breweries from 1987 to 1994 before venturing into farming and gravel business. He was a politician whose career spanned the defunct Social Democratic Party, SDP, and National Center Party of Nigeria, NCPN, before joining People's Democratic Party, PDP, a party he became a ward chairman in Quote 2, Ward 7 from 2001 to 2007. He retired from active politics following his selection as the village head of Ikora Paisiak in 2008 and has numerous developmental strides to his credit as the village head. Etidong Nicholas is survived by 2 wives, children, and many relations who pay tribute to his life, person, and character.
He believed in justice, believed in fairness, believed in equity.
The remains of the late Etidong Christopher Nicholas Udo were later interred in his country home.
To end the news, a recap of our top stories. More sympathizers have visited Governor Udom Emmanuel to commiserate with him and the state over the loss of lives at the collapsed building of the Rainers Bible Church. Among those who visited yesterday are the judiciary led by the State Chief Judge, Justice Stephen Okon, and the State Council of Chiefs led by the Chairman, Onwong Effiong Achanga. That's the news. Remember, you can also watch AKBC 45 News online by logging on to akbconline.org or follow us on our Twitter handle at AKBC45UO or on our Facebook page at AKBC Channel 45. That's the size of our package this morning. Have a pleasant day.